Welcome to the first in our series of real estate education vlogs for 2021. I'm Tim Allsop, a real estate partner at Mills & Reeve. So it's a new year, a new start, but the pandemic is still with us. What I want to do now is focus on 5 themes that I think will have the biggest impact on the evolution of the higher education estate through the coming year and beyond. Most of these are not actually very new and not a direct result of COVID either. COVID has acted as a catalyst though, and more to the point, it has shown that doing different is possible, even desirable. So my 5 themes are as follows: the campus as a safe space, virtual learning, flexible design and use, tie-ups with business and government, sustainability. The challenge and the question I put to you is to identify which of these themes are here for the long term. Well, first, the campus as a safe space. The immediate impact of COVID has been an urgent need to revisit how the estate is used and maintained. The point being to enable staff and students to safely use facilities as restrictions permit, above all, to give them the confidence and peace of mind to do so. But that's more than just about circulation routes, opening windows and limiting building occupants, of course. It has meant that high-level maintenance and cleaning has become an expectation. The result of that is the reversal of historic reductions in FM budgets. The question is, will that trend continue? And the answer is obviously it can't, but it does mean a powerful drive towards greater efficiency and new best practice in campus operation and FM. And that in turn must influence campus design and resource allocation. My second theme is virtual learning. It was with us already, and MOOCs have been around for a while. Now, however, it's an operational necessity. What does that mean in practice, though, especially as campuses must still allow for physical presence? Well, on a practical level, it means getting the technology in place. First-class Wi-Fi across the campus is now a given. It also means classrooms and lecture theatres adapted to deal with blended learning and able to cope with part physical, part virtual attendance. It means rooms set aside for joining in Zoom and team meetings. But it isn't just about the technology, and this will have wider implications. Virtual learning affects the whole essence of how learning will be delivered, and when, since virtual lectures can just as easily be recorded and viewed at any time. And that in turn raises questions. What does it mean for student experience? Integration and retention of students becomes more of a challenge. Ways need to be found to let the character of the institution and the advantages of the university community shine through beyond just an online course. It presents challenges particularly for attracting overseas students, but that challenge is also an opportunity. Travel is less of a barrier, and the reach of a well-placed virtual university becomes global, able to target those who value a British higher education but can't or won't travel. And the same will apply to faculty, of course. The key will be creating a sense of institutional belonging and community, albeit virtually. And that leads on to my third theme and the implications of virtual learning for the built estate, namely flexible design and use. Now, for a start, what does virtual learning mean for traditional lecture theatres? Their value is already being questioned, but most immediately, the need is not so much for less as for more flexible space able to accommodate adaptive and blended learning. Longer term though, the university estate needs to be reimagined to make the best use of online and digital. And that of course does not just mean teaching space. If staff and faculty are able to work just as effectively from home, for instance, for at least part of the time, does that mean less need for formal office space? Again, the immediate need is not so much for less as for more flexibility, to allow for hot desking and virtual meetings, for instance. Now, looking ahead, there's no reason why administrative functions could not be relocated from expensive city centre locations or even shared with other institutions, all of which could increase efficiency and reduce fixed costs. This need for flexibility and to drive efficiencies leads on to my fourth theme, namely tie-ups with business and government. The most immediate impact of the pandemic has been often short-notice requests to use university facilities for testing, research, Nightingale hospital sites, and now vaccination centres. Joint ventures with government and business are hardly new though, and have long been a way for institutions to generate a return from the estate and to capture other benefits from collaboration. The incentive to seize those opportunities would become all the more urgent now though, given the need to repair holes in university finances from increased costs, lost income and reduced on-campus spending. More to the point, as business undergoes its own pandemic evolution, there will be new opportunities. More staff will work from home, and that means a need for flexible off-site office space, as well as the need for virtual hubs and spaces for teams to come together. Now, many institutions already have these facilities in their business incubation centres, and many academic facilities could be readily retasked. Also, as business travel becomes less practical, less attractive or sustainable, so the demand for domestic and virtual conference facilities is likely to grow. Finally, although the immediate implications are less clear, the current government has made much of its levelling up agenda. Now, this is an opportunity for the sector, as higher education has always had a role to play as a regeneration catalyst, able to bring large-scale employment, positive impact on local economies, and of course, and fundamentally, the delivery of retraining and education. Finally then, my fifth theme, sustainability. If you can remember the days before COVID, sustainability and the need to address climate change was the major concern. It's hardly gone away, and it's arguably a far bigger and more urgent challenge and emerging crisis than COVID can ever be. This is going to dominate the agenda for the foreseeable future, and it's far more than just about recycling and energy efficiency. A genuine step change in how we do things is needed, and the higher education sector can and must be at the forefront. In practice, that means a radical rethink in the use of low-carbon technologies, energy efficiency and renewables to transform the design, construction and use of the estate. The challenge will be to deliver on that ambition, to preserve and enhance the student experience and overall attractiveness and vitality of each institution and the sector. So to conclude, I hope my brief canter through 5 themes for the months and years to come has been thought-provoking. We're in a time of great uncertainty and upheaval, but current events have shown that change is possible. My 5 themes, the campus as a safe space, virtual learning, flexible design and use, tie-ups with business and government, sustainability, all have their immediate demands, and equally many are not new. But as I said at the beginning, the challenge is to identify which and what are here for the long term. Well, thank you for your time. This is part of a series, and I look forward to my colleagues developing these and other themes over the course of the year. Goodbye.